If you're watching a content creator making videos about me, if you're watching content creators communicate and bring my name up, please take a moment to consider, I don't know these people, I've never met them, and it's unique that creators will talk about me as if I am playing a role in their life, as if Adrielle plays a role in so-and-so's life, when I in fact do not know any of these content creators. I don't play a role in their life, and they don't play a role in mine. Please just try to be happy. Focus on making decisions with good intent, with compassion. Be considerate about what you put out there, because a lot of content creators who make content using my name, or even people who live stream and use my name, your audience can be very, very large. Everyone has the potential to go viral at any given moment, and try to put a message out there that influences people to lead with compassion and spread love to one another. If you're interested in understanding who I am because you discovered my name through another content creator or live streamer, just think critically, think for yourself, get to know me through my live streams. That's the easiest way to get to know more about me. Watch my content, make your own opinion. It's so mind-boggling how people speak as if I'm part of their life when I'm not. So many content creators deceive their audience because they themselves, these content creators, truly believe that I am playing a role in their life. And I'll never understand the psychology behind it. Maybe some people would call that a parasocial relationship. A parasocial relationship is a one-sided connection or a one-sided sense of intimacy that a person develops with a social media figure. So this could happen with characters in a movie. This could happen with live streamers. This could happen with celebrities, actors, actresses, content creators, rappers, musicians. But the key word there is it's a one-sided sense of intimacy. It's a one-sided connection. I'm over here living my life, and content creators who I don't even know feel a connection with me. Some I don't even know exist. Parasocial relationships are so intense so that when a content creator hosts a live stream about me or makes a YouTube video about me, their audience thinks, oh wow, the person I'm watching must really know Adrielle. It's all one-sided. A parasocial relationship develops through repeated exposure to a media figure, and I am a repetitive live streamer. I post consistent reels, consistent shorts, consistent videos. A parasocial relationship will develop through repeated exposure to a media figure, leading to a sense of familiarity and connection, as if the viewer knows the person personally. I choose to depict myself a certain way. I choose to entertain the way I choose to entertain. I choose to portray myself in certain fashions for certain videos. It can be very versatile. Because I'm a social media live streamer and content creator, I have to see what works for me. What niche do I belong in? So 1 month I could post 50 videos cooking vegan meals, and I can see, how does that work out for me? Are people interested in this? It's all dependent on my audience. Then I could shift my content to silly dances and singing for a month and post 50 videos of me being silly, singing, and dancing to see how that works for me. As a result, because I'm so versatile, viewers are exposed to repeated content, repeatedly viewing my content. And these viewers become attached and connected to the content I'm currently working on. Maybe it's a month of vlogging and I'm sharing all of the obstacles in my way for a month because I'm having a stressful month. And I choose to portray myself as stressed out, vulnerable, and anxious. That would attract an audience who can relate, and we build a connection over that. But there could be a month where I'm being a brain rot millennial, posting brain rot millennial core videos, being goofy, singing. I would attract an audience who builds a connection off of how I portray myself. Oh, she's crazy. She's kind of funny. This is crazy. And they continue repeatedly watching my content. My live streams overall are the same. That's one niche I'm good at. I love live streaming. I love being myself. And through my live streams, an audience builds a connection through me just being myself. And I'm vegan. It's totally me, right? Sometimes I'm not in the mood to make vegan recipe videos. Some months I am. Some months I want to vlog all of my vegan groceries that month, and I'll post repeatedly, like 50 videos a month. But the parasocial relationship develops through repeated exposure to a media figure, leading to a sense of familiarity and a connection, as if the viewer knows the person personally. Key word, it's one-sided, and they think that they know me personally. This one-sided relationship is built on perceived intimacy and emotional attachment and engagement with the media persona. Factors like the media's figure's personality, the viewer's own characteristics, and the type of media can influence the development of a parasocial relationship. They're intrigued, they're engaged, they can relate, they continue watching, and in some cases, this one-sided attachment is deeply embedded into their life. And I've been learning a lot about this too, you know? I can really impact someone's life. For example, say someone is so engaged that they hate all my content. Say they just can't stand it, and they spend months just ripping me to shreds, making content, ripping me to shreds. They're so emotionally invested that when they start making content, the people watching them believe that that it's a reciprocal relationship, but the truth is it's a one-sided relationship. The truth is, I don't know you and you don't know me personally, but you make it personally, the viewer makes it personally, because that repeated exposure to my content leaves them attached to what piques their interest. And say this person rips me to shreds for months and months and months and can't stand me. I know that I've already had such an impact by doing nothing, not even communicating with these people. And I have serious influence over these people. If they're posting consistently about me ripping me to shreds, they're very angry, they dislike me. Correct. And you would think that you in your personal life, if someone treated you that way, you would tell them off, right? But that would be negligent and destructive of me, because if I have such an influence over someone to feel emotionally embedded and connected to me, just one-sided, I can't make that reciprocal connection. I have to compartmentalize and ignore. That's how I do it. I just ignore. Because if I were to react, whether I react positively or negatively, it's going to impact that person. And some people who do this, they might be in an abusive relationship. They could be lonely. They could live alone. They could be an empty nester. And maybe some of them are in unhappy, failing marriages. If I were to react negatively to someone who has a one-sided connection to me, I could destroy their self-esteem even more than it already is from whatever challenges and obstacles they're facing in their life, which is why I choose to put my content out there, focus on myself, and disengage with creators, live streamers, viewers who develop a parasocial relationship with me. Because if I were to reciprocate, whether I'm positive or negative, it could pose a threat. They already factor me into their life, and people watching perceive it as I play a role in their life. The truth is, that's a fictional role I play in their life, and it has to stay that way. And so say someone's being very angry, aggressive for months and months on end, and then boom, change of heart. I kind of like her now. Either way, it's still one-sided. Or say they start off, they like me. They make lots of videos and they're a fan of my content. They make lots of videos for months and months and months, and then whoop, they flip a switch and they're like, I don't like her anymore. That's all one-sided, and for my safety and my boundaries, I let it be. Do people say shitty things sometimes? And do I tell them off? Yeah. But here's the difference. I don't singularly single out anyone and tell them off. Sometimes I address the backlash as a whole lump sum. I try not to ever single anyone out, because that could have a detrimental impact on them. Because deep down, at the end of the day, I know they have a deeply embedded, one-sided, intimate connection, emotional connection to my social media persona. So if I were to single them out and tell them off or whatever, that could be destructive. That could hurt them emotionally, you see? Even if I single them out and I'm really, really nice and sweet and try to be a friend to them, that could also hurt them emotionally, because they don't know me personally. They're walking projections. So they have a projection. I'm like a hologram to them. They project everything that they would expect from me, and it's all dependent on the persona I depict on social media. I can't meet up to fabricated expectations. So could I really truly be someone's friend if their connection is based on my social media persona? I'm not the same person in real life. What I mean by that is the content I create is based on ideas. My content persona isn't who I am 24/7. So when I'm bopping around, dancing, singing, making millennial core brain rot videos, that's not me 24/7. That's my idea for a video. When I'm venting and talking about life and parallels in life, that's not me 24/7. When I'm making vegan food and cooking and cleaning, that's not me 24/7. But that persona, whether it's the first, second, or third persona, whether it's goofy Adrielle, stressed out, angry Adrielle, or happy cooking vegan Adrielle, those three personas are what some people build a connection with. Those personas, the goofy singing Adrielle, some say like 10,000 people are attracted to the goofy singing Adrielle. They're entertained by it. They build a connection by it. Say it's the angry ranting Adrielle. Some people are engaged with that. They build an emotional connection to that. It's relatable. The cooking, cleaning, vegan Adrielle, some people are inspired by that. It makes them want to be vegan. They build a connection to that. But no matter what the persona is, it's not me 24/7. So if I were to engage and start making friendships with people based off of false pretenses, not to say I'm fake, right? But it's not me 24/7. And these people, even though they established a connection, it doesn't mean I can meet up to their expectations. Even if they hate me, I still can't meet up to their unrealistic expectations, because it's projections in their mind. It's really weird. And most creators or influencers, live streamers, even like celebrities, actors, actresses, they don't really talk about parasocial relationships. I would say models are the best example of this. If they have a fan named John Doe who is always leaving positive comments on all their posts and pictures, and say the model responds to John and says thank you and starts building a reciprocal, two-sided rapport with John Doe. Pretend the model responds. John Doe has projected expectations of that model. The model isn't in a bikini with her hair done 24/7. The model doesn't have a confidence boost and self-esteem to the roof 24/7. The model can't be who their social media persona is 24/7. The model might be depressed when she wakes up in the morning. The model might be struggling with body dysmorphia. The model might feel ashamed to even be undressed intimately with a romantic partner because they have low self-esteem, body image challenges with their body image. But they present themselves confidently. They present themselves at their best moments when they're feeling confident. And that would obviously bring in and attract lots of men who are interested in building a bond. And they do. A lot of men do build a one-sided connection. It's called a parasocial relationship. And there's a lot of men who might dislike it and say, oh, they have an impression of this person and it's not a good one. Either way, if the model starts attempting to reciprocate and make that one-sided parasocial connection two-sided, it could cause danger. It would destroy John Doe's false hopes, and by building a reciprocal connection with the negative Nancy, the negative guy, whoever is being rude, it could destroy the model's self-esteem even more than it might already be. A lot of social media creators, in my opinion, from my experience, are only interested in building organic relationships and friendships. And that can be internet friendships, that can be real life friendships, but it would be on the creator's terms. It wouldn't ever be under the terms of reacting to someone who has clearly displayed a parasocial one-sided connection to the creator. Because I guess once you're media trained and you're fluent in the lifestyle of live streaming, making content, you know that's just a boundary you'll never cross. It could just cause problems and danger. So anyway, if you're watching videos and people are making me the topic, please remember these videos all stem from a one-sided parasocial relationship that I'm never interested in reciprocating. Thank you. Go vegan. This is probably one of the most just upfront, me being myself videos I've made in a long time. It's the real Adrielle. You know, I've only met a handful of people in real life whose first impression of me was my social media content. Every single one of those people are just like shocked. They are confused because when they see me in real life, I'm absolutely nothing from what their brain interpreted me as on my videos. And then a flip side to that, people who've known me before I started creating content, typically they laugh when they see me, they catch up, they give me a hug if they're watching my content. A lot of people I know in my real life don't even watch my content, but I'm just speaking on people who knew me before I started making content that are watching my content. A lot of those people are just like, man, keep up doing what you're doing. You're a hustler. It's mind-blowing how many people think they know who you are when they don't even know you. They say sometimes I just want to shake them and bring them right here and be like, oh, this is Adrielle. This is social media Adrielle. I remember one time though, I met someone. I was at a bar in Buffalo and she's like, she sat next to me and she's like, you're just so different in real life. She said, why don't you act like this in your videos? And I said, well, I'm acting in a lot of my videos. And she said, yeah, but if you would just be like this, so many more people would like you. And I was like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Or anyway, thanks for watching. Like and follow. Remember, you can watch me live streaming on my YouTube, AdrielleTube, every day. And you can watch me live on Favorited app every night. My @ is Adrielle on Favorited. Go vegan.